Okay, so I just turned 26 a few days ago, and I've had like three like serious girlfriends. I would say like serious since I was like 20 going into 21. Before that was some other relationships, but they weren't too serious. But I could even say from the age of like 17, I've been like dating, right? And just kind of like meeting people and blah blah blah. When you are trying to achieve something, you should be single. This is a lesson that took me years to like learn. I said I've been dating this long, so I can give some context as to like how long it took me to learn this lesson. You need to be fucking single when you're grinding for something. I don't think everyone will agree with this, but I think this is valid and I think it is true, and it's like something that I'm realizing. So let me share. All these years I've been dating, and I've basically just been finding comfort and happiness within the girls, right? And within the relationship. Never truly happy while I'm with them. Even though like I love them and I do like fall in love with them, like it's just not quite right. You know what I mean? Like I'm not quite happy and satisfied and fulfilled with it. I was almost doing it to like fill a void, to like distract myself, you know, to bring me comfort. I think a girlfriend really provides that comfort for you, you know, or a partner. It doesn't have to be a girl, but like just a partner really provides that comfort to you. And we all seek comfort in different ways, right? We all have like different vices. It could be girls, drinking, substances, gaming. I mean, we get comfort and distraction from many things, but I think one of the strongest ones of all for guys at least, I feel like girls are more emotionally mature, and I feel like girls kind of do it a little bit differently. Not all of them, there's plenty of girls that do the same thing. Honestly, actually, I feel like when you're seeking, hold on, let me finish my thoughts. So girls are like probably the strongest like substance to get like, I call it a substance, but it's like girls are probably the strongest thing to like get addicted to, I think, you know? And I was gonna say that like girls are a little bit different, but honestly that's not true, because the guys that cope with girls and the guys that like use girlfriends for comfort and shit, they're at that frequency where they do that, and they find girls that are at that same frequency where they use guys to bring them comfort, you know? Like you attract what you are, right? So I won't say that girls don't do that. Girls absolutely do that, you know? There's girls I've been with in the past that just matched my frequency and we're trying to basically do the same thing, and that's why we didn't work out, you know what I mean? But that's obviously like an issue, but it goes even deeper than that. Like when you find your passion, when you find your goal, when you figure out what it is that you want. Oh, also, if you don't even know what you want yet, I believe it's harder to find that while you're distracted with a girl. But let's say you've already figured out what you want. For me, I feel like I figured out what I truly wanted while I was with the girl, right? Yeah. I was with her when I realized I didn't have to be separate from her. But I don't think that's the case for everyone, you know? I think it specifically for me, like it hit me really like powerfully. I actually discovered it while I was literally with her. That's pretty crazy actually. But it was also, God, okay, anyway. So if you know what you want to do and you have the goal and you have the passion and you know what it takes, meaning it takes hours of work every day for years, consistency, the grind, you know what I mean? Because everything worth pursuing is difficult in this life and you have to put a lot of fucking time and energy into it, right? You can't do that when you have a girl. At least I can't. At least I can, bro. There's definitely people who build with a girl, with a person. Sorry, I'm trying not to make it so gender-based or whatever. I'm just speaking from my perspective, you know what I mean? So just apply it to yourself. There is definitely people who do build in a relationship, and they like, the person supports them, and they like are their rock, and they like, you know, help them get there, blah, blah, blah. I understand that that happens for people. That's never really happened for me. Like, at least, okay, at least I can't view it that way. Like, I had someone who was kind of that rock and was there to help me build, but I couldn't see it that way. When I had that person, I just wanted to relax and have fun and like, you know, like relax and chill. It's like, as guys, like when you have a girl, like you feel like you're on top of the world. You feel like you're validated, like you're you feel like you're fulfilled, you kind of reached your goal, your primal goal, because in our primal brains, we want to mate, you know, we want to reproduce. Like, it's like the ultimate goal for our reptile brains is to find a partner. So when you find a partner, you're chilling, bro. You know, like your drive goes down, your hunger goes down, like you become complacent. I for sure became, I've been complacent since I was like fucking 17, bro, because I chased it so hard. You know what I mean? And I never even needed to chase it. I mean, no one needs to chase it. You don't have to chase, but I didn't like know that. You know what I mean? Like, I was so driven by like my insecurities and my hormones and my perspective on the world and the perspective on myself, you know, like I was all warped. I was all upside down. It took me a lot of like talking, reading, like meditating, journaling, learning, like watching, like like some therapy. I mean, therapy didn't really help with this, but maybe a little bit. I don't know. I only did therapy for a few months. So it wasn't anything crazy, but like, you know, it took a long time to kind of come to this realization. And everyone kind of comes at this realization at different ages, when the time's right, basically, when you're ready to hear it, I feel like, you know, in your like journey. So some people will experience these kinds of realizations when they're younger, some will experience it older. It really doesn't matter, you know? Like, as long as you realize it at some point, and as long as you just continue on the journey, you know, like, it's cool. So I've been single for a couple months now, coming out of this breakup. It's been really, really hard. Like, I'm not really, like, healed yet. I don't really feel like I'm great yet, you know? But I definitely do, like, feel better, and I do feel the progress and stuff. And just one of the things I'm just really realizing is how important it is for me to not seek anybody out and just keep my blinders on. You know what I mean? I don't want another girl. Like, I don't want to find somebody else. Even when I find myself talking to new people and kind of just like feeling it out, my alarm kind of goes off and I'm like, no, 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 don't start this shit again. Keep the blinders on, bro. Focus on your fucking goal, you know? Make it first. Because it's like, when you like, say like you do find someone, like say you find someone super hot, super cool, they check all the boxes, blah, 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 and you're having a great time, that only lasts for so long, bro. Like if you use your 20s to do that, like I think about that, right? Like I think about like, I just want to find a bad bitch and just have fun or whatever, you know? But like, think about that shit, bro. That shit lasts. Like, you guys are gonna age. It might not be for like 5 years, but like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years maybe, right? You guys age, like your looks change. Their looks will change. They won't be as hot as they were when you first met them. Like, if we're talking superficially, but also like if we're just talking in personality wise, like they may be amazing, but if you just play with them and mess around for years, like eventually you're gonna get a little bit older and just be like, fuck, like, yeah, I was hot when I was younger and it was a good time to do that, but like now I'm older and I haven't done shit, you know? I've just been having fun. Some people have like there's like a balance to it, and some people value it more than others, right? But something I've realized is like, what if like I went 1,000% hard right when I turned 18, and right now by 26 I could have already achieved my dream of like music. I do music, right? What if I was like already touring right now? Like some people that are younger than me are touring right now in my scene in dubstep, you know? Like, what if I had just locked in right at 18 and by like 25 I would have like made it or some shit, right? And now I could focus on whatever, having fun, like finding a girlfriend, whatever, you know? It's like, it hits you. It's gonna hit you eventually. And if you always ignore it and you never let it hit you, then you're fucked. Then you're gonna be old, and eventually you're gonna have to come face to face with it at some point. I don't know what point that is, you know, but eventually you gotta face it, whether it's on your deathbed or some crazy life event, you know? So yeah, it took a long time for like the FOMO to wear off, to see everybody partying and shit and like not being part of the action. But I'm finally at that point where I'm literally just like sitting here and I'm just like, I'm 26. When am I gonna get my shit together, bro? I gotta get my shit together. 26, bro. Like, time is finite. Time is literally finite. It's not forever. Before I was 18, I never thought I would reach 18. When I turned 18, I never thought I'd reach 21. When I reached 21, I had a fucking panic attack. Like, I collapsed. Like, I was not ready for it. There was no more like milestones to like look towards. I was now an adult and I was about to graduate college, and there was no other like fun things to look forward to. Now I'm just an adult living a finite number of years. Time almost felt infinite when I was like in high school and under, you know? Time just didn't really, I was aging, yes, but it was always just like, man, that day will come eventually. I'll eventually graduate high school, but like, not anytime soon, right? It hits you like a train, bro. After I turned 21 and I had that sort of fucking collapse, that reality check, that was kind of the time where I really should have just like locked in, but I still wasn't ready to let go. I still wasn't ready to like face reality, and I kept distracting myself, you know, and I kept searching for other things to like sort of put the band-aid on. And don't get me wrong, I had a ton of fun. I feel like I lived a great life. I don't regret shit, you know? I did some awesome things that shaped me into who I am. That's why it's never a bad thing to like realize things late. Because regardless of what you're doing, if you're doing something, you're learning. If you're doing something, you're progressing in some way, you know? Like, so I had a great time while I was still trying to sort of distract myself and shit. But eventually, like, I had to realize, and I had to realize what the problem was, and I had to become aware, and I wasn't quite aware at that time. I was just really depressed, and I was really sad about, like, time and these existential things, and I just didn't really know what to do about it, and I didn't really know what the root causes were. I finally realized, you know? This video is kind of long. At this point in my life, I realize how similar the years are. I used to think like, I don't want to get famous. I don't want to be successful or be famous or get to where I want to be before I'm too old. Like, I don't want to be like 25. I'm 26 now. I don't want to be 26. I want to do it now, you know? I used to think there was like a time limit, and I used to think it would be such a big difference. Now I realize 26 feels like 18. I almost fucking look like I'm 18. I know my beard is huge right now because my trimmer broke. And I feel like I'm slowly starting to kind of get like lines, or my face is starting to maybe show a little bit of age, maybe. But like, some people literally mistake me when I trim. Some people literally mistake me for being like fucking 20 or whatever, you know? Like, I still look, there's no fucking difference, bro. So there was no rush, or there was no like, what am I trying to say? What was my point? Oh, so what I was saying was I could have used those earlier years to grind harder and just enjoyed it now. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't have to, I thought like, okay, well, it is true to an extent. The things that you do at a certain time period are specific to that time period, and they're gonna feel different. If I did all the things I did at 21 now, I probably wouldn't experience and feel the same way about them at my age now than I did when I was 21. So it does kind of matter what age you are, but I could have grinded harder and just done those things now if I was already successful, and that would have been cool, you know? That would have been cool. I don't want to be at this age and have to like move back to my parents' house and like, you know, figure it out. When I'm alone and I'm single, I have nothing to fall back on. All I have is my dream. All I have are my goals. Nobody can hold me and be like, it's okay, Omar. You know, like, you're doing your best, whatever. Like, you still have me, blah, blah, blah. There's nothing, you know what I mean? It's just, I'm alone and I'm fucking sad. All I can do is succeed. All I can do is work towards what I'm working towards, you know? Nobody is like, by the way, I don't think being sad is a requirement, but I do kind of like romanticize, and I do kind of enjoy that perspective of like, you're in the mud, you're fucking heartbroken, you're sad, you're like, you're doing your own thing and you're pushing through out of the mud, and you're kind of getting it out of the mud, and you're like climbing up and shit, and like earning your like success and shit. Like, I kind of romanticize that idea. I feel like my best work comes when I'm suffering. I feel like my best work comes out of like pain. I think that's how it is for most people, you know? The people who go through the hardest shit come out like the strongest and stuff, you know what I mean? And we all go through this kind of heartbreak stuff, you know? It makes all of us stronger. But fuck, what was I saying? Okay, boys, you know this one. You're trying to do shit, or you're doing something, and your girl's like, let's watch a movie tonight. Let's go out tonight. Let's eat something tonight. You don't ever take me out, or we don't ever do anything. Like, being home's boring. Like, any of those things. You know what I mean? Let's get food, or like some shit like that. We have to succeed, bro. We have like to drive. We have to push forward as the man. Like, we have to achieve something. We need to get that. We gotta get the bread. Like, we gotta do it. And they wanna like chill, and they wanna have a good time, which is fine, you know? But like, if you're not at the point in your life yet where you can just chill and relax like that, then you can't listen to her, and you can't have her around to say that shit. Because if you're trying to work on a project and your girl says, hey, like, let's fucking watch a movie and cuddle and stuff and fucking bang, of course you're gonna be like, yeah, how are you gonna sit there and like work on your shit? And like maybe like 5 out of 10 times you'll work on your shit, but what about the other 5 out of 10 times? You can't even have that option. You can't even have that available. You can't even have a girl there to tempt you. You can't have the temptation. It's a fucking drug. You know what I mean? You're addicted. You can't just have it near you and just resist it every time. That's like the opposite of how overcoming addiction works. It's about removing the cues. It's about removing the temptation. So you can't have them around, you know? Some girls have goals and they're driven and they work really hard on their shit too. I could see that maybe working, like you guys both are really driven and you're working on your own projects or your own careers. But the hypothetical situation there is like, if you guys are both just focused on your own projects, why are you even together, you know? But I've never been in that situation, so I can't really speak on it too much. If people do that and they love each other, but they also are very focused on their own thing, sure, I guess, you know, whatever. But I just feel like if you really are putting 100%, 1,000% into your goals, how could you possibly even share a relationship with somebody? I do wonder, like, the people who say, like, oh, I had nothing and I grinded hard and my girl was there for me and she, like, was my rock and I came up. I do wonder, like, I would like to ask someone who's been through that, like, what that was like for them and what their relationship was like and how much they actually hung out and shit like that, you know what I mean? Because I've never had that before. I can't really see that working. As much as I would appreciate having a girl to kind of, I guess, support me while I'm, like, doing this, you know, I just don't really see myself being able to resist the temptation of, like, slacking off with her and stuff, unless she was, like, really pushy and was like, do your work, you know, or we, like, blocked out, like, we scheduled out time very specifically to, like, hang out and shit, you know, like, that's kind of like those were kind of like the main points I had to make. I don't know if I'm forgetting anything. But yeah, I'm Ilmar. I make dubstep, heavy rhythm. My IG is Trillmar music, like Trillmar music. You can follow there if you want. I make videos on random shit. I don't know. I'm still figuring out what I want to do with my YouTube. But I guess I make videos like this now too. Gym, vlog, music production, DJing. Thanks for watching. If you watched, let me know if you agree or disagree, or if you got beef with me, or if you love me. Yeah, I think that's it.